Welcome to Outdoor Oasis Ideas. Today we're diving into the art of small front yard landscaping. Small front yards present unique challenges and opportunities. With limited space, every design decision becomes crucial. The goal is to create a landscape that not only enhances your home's curb appeal, but also reflects your personal style and meets your practical needs. Let's explore how to achieve this balance through thoughtful design and smart plant choices. The first step in designing a small front yard is to assess the space. Take note of the yard's dimensions, sunlight patterns, soil type, and any existing features like trees or structures. Consider the style of your home. Your landscape should complement and enhance its architectural features. Also, think about your climate and how it will affect your plant choices and maintenance requirements. One of the most effective strategies for small front yards is to create the illusion of more space. This can be achieved through several design techniques. First, consider using diagonal lines in your design. Diagonal pathways or planting beds can make a space appear larger than it is. Curved lines can also be effective, creating a sense of flow and movement that draws the eye through the landscape. Vertical elements are crucial in small front yard design. They draw the eye upward, adding depth and dimension to the space. Consider incorporating tall, narrow trees like Italian cypress or columnar junipers. Trellises, arbors, and vertical gardens are also excellent ways to add height without taking up much ground space. These structures can be used to support climbing plants, adding lush greenery and even flowers to your vertical spaces. Color plays a vital role in small front yard landscaping. Light colors can make a space feel larger and more open. Consider using light-colored pavers for walkways or pale flowers in your planting beds. However, don't shy away from bold colors entirely. Strategic pops of bright hues can create focal points and add energy to the landscape. Just use them judiciously to avoid overwhelming the space. When it comes to plant selection, choose varieties that are proportionate to your space. Dwarf or compact varieties of trees and shrubs can provide the structure and year-round interest of their larger counterparts without outgrowing your yard. For example, dwarf Japanese maples or compact boxwoods can add elegance and structure without dominating the landscape. Layering is another key principle in small front yard design. Create depth by planting in layers, with taller plants at the back, medium-height plants in the middle, and low-growing plants in the front. This not only creates visual interest, but also maximizes the number of plants you can include in a small space. Consider incorporating a mix of evergreen and deciduous plants. Evergreens provide year-round structure and color, while deciduous plants offer seasonal interest with their changing foliage and flowers. A balance of both ensures your landscape looks attractive in all seasons. In a small front yard, hardscaping elements become even more important. A well-designed walkway can guide visitors to your front door while also adding visual interest. Consider using materials that complement your home's exterior, such as brick, natural stone, or decorative concrete pavers. Curves in the pathway can add a sense of journey and make the space feel larger. Don't overlook the importance of a defined edge between your lawn and planting beds. A crisp, well-maintained edge gives the landscape a polished look and helps contain mulch and plants. This can be achieved with physical edging materials like stone or metal, or simply through careful maintenance of the grass edge. In small front yards, the lawn often takes a back seat to more interesting plantings. Consider reducing or even eliminating your lawn in favor of expanded planting beds or hardscaped areas. This not only creates more visual interest, but can also be more environmentally friendly, requiring less water and maintenance than a traditional lawn. Incorporate texture into your landscape design. Mix plants with different leaf shapes and sizes to create visual interest. Fine textured plants like ornamental grasses can provide a soft, airy feel, while bold leaf plants like hostas or large leaf shrubs can add drama and contrast. Don't forget about the power of repetition in creating a cohesive design. Repeat colors, shapes, or plant types throughout your yard to create a sense of unity. This is particularly effective in a small space where too much variety can feel chaotic. Consider creating a focal point in your small front yard. This could be an architectural element like a fountain or a piece of garden art, or it could be a particularly striking plant. A focal point gives the eye a place to rest and can make a small space feel more intentional and designed. In a small front yard, multifunctional elements are key. For example, a low retaining wall can double as seating, or a decorative container can serve as both a planter and a focal point. Look for opportunities to make each element of your landscape work double duty. In small spaces, container gardening can be a great solution. Use containers to add color and interest to hardscaped areas like your front porch or along the driveway. They also allow you to easily change out plants for seasonal interest. Choose containers that complement your home's style and are proportionate to your space. Consider the view from inside your home, as well as from the street. Your front yard should be enjoyable from both perspectives. Place taller plants strategically to frame windows without blocking views, and consider how the colors and textures will look from inside your living room or home office. Don't forget about fragrance when selecting plants for your front yard. Fragrant plants near the entrance or along the path to your front door can create a welcoming atmosphere and engage another sense as visitors approach your home. Consider plants like lavender, roses, or jasmine for their delightful scents. In a small front yard, symmetry can be your friend. Consider creating matching plantings on either side of your front walk or entrance. This creates a sense of balance and formality, that can make a small space feel more intentional and designed. Remember to consider all seasons when planning your landscape. Include plants that offer winter interest through their bark, berries, or structure. Evergreens, ornamental grasses, and plants with interesting branching patterns can provide visual appeal even in the dormant season. Don't overlook the importance of mulch in your landscape design. A layer of organic mulch not only looks attractive, but also helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, and moderate soil temperature. Choose a mulch color that complements your plants and home exterior. Consider incorporating some native plants into your design. These plants are adapted to your local climate and often require less water and care once established. They also provide food and habitat for local wildlife, adding an extra dimension of interest to your garden. In a small front yard, it's important to plan for growth. Plants that look perfectly spaced when first planted can quickly outgrow their allotted space. Be prepared to divide perennials regularly and prune shrubs to maintain the desired shape and size. Don't be afraid to use bold design elements in a small space. A striking piece of garden art, an unusual plant specimen, or a brightly colored front door can become a focal point that defines the entire space. Just remember that in a small yard, a little goes a long way. Consider the style of your neighborhood when designing your front yard. While you want your landscape to reflect your personal style, it should also harmonize with the overall look of your street. This doesn't mean it has to be identical to your neighbor's yards, but it should feel like it belongs. Remember that your front yard is often the first impression visitors have of your home. Use your landscape to create a welcoming entrance. A curved path through planting beds to your front door can create a sense of journey and anticipation. In a small front yard, every plant should earn its place. Choose plants that offer multiple seasons of interest: spring flowers, attractive summer foliage, fall color, and winter structure, for example. This ensures your landscape remains interesting year-round. Don't forget about the practical aspects of your front yard design. Consider where you'll place trash bins, how snow will be removed in winter, if applicable, and whether you need space for bike storage or other practical needs. A well-designed landscape should be both beautiful and functional. Incorporating edible plants into your front yard landscape can be both attractive and practical. Dwarf fruit trees, berry bushes, and even attractive vegetable plants can add interest to your yard while also providing fresh produce. Just be sure to check any neighborhood regulations before adding edibles to your front yard. Consider the time of day when your front yard gets the most use or viewing. If you typically come home in the evening, for example, you might want to include plants with pale flowers that show up well in low light, or foliage plants with variegated leaves that add brightness to shady areas. Don't neglect the importance of proper drainage in your landscape design. Ensure that water flows away from your home's foundation and that there are no areas where water pools after rain. This may involve grading the yard or installing drainage solutions, but it's crucial for the long-term health of your landscape and home. In a small front yard, vertical gardening can be a great solution. Use trellises, wall-mounted planters, or hanging baskets to add more planting space without taking up valuable ground area. This can be particularly effective for softening the look of a plain wall or fence. Consider incorporating some plants with interesting bark or stem color for winter interest. Red twig dogwoods or plants with exfoliating bark can provide visual appeal even when deciduous plants have lost their leaves. In a small front yard, the choice of materials becomes even more important. consider using permeable paving materials for hardscaped areas. These allow water to penetrate into the ground, reducing runoff and benefiting your plants. They can also add interesting texture to your landscape. Don't overlook the importance of negative space in your design. While it's tempting to fill every inch of a small yard, leaving some open areas can actually make the space feel larger and more relaxing. A small patch of lawn or an area of ground cover can provide a visual rest among more complex plantings. Consider the backdrop for your landscape. If you have a fence or the side of your house visible, think about how your plant choices will look against this background. Dark foliage can pop against a light-colored house, while bright flowers can stand out against a dark fence. Thank you for joining us today on Outdoor Oasis Ideas. We hope these tips and ideas have inspired you to create your own beautiful small front yard landscape. If you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest gardening and landscaping ideas. Until next time, happy landscaping!